Hey folks, Colin here from Sumthins Recording, and today I'm going to show you one tip for getting wider guitars. We're going to be talking about using reverb today, but before we dive in, if you're ready to go a little bit deeper into the mixing process and really start to hone your workflow as an engineer, then I have just the thing for you. It's my 7-step mixing checklist. It is a simple PDF that will guide you through the entire mixing process, step by step, to help you get professional and radio-ready mixes without the hassle and without the guesswork. It is completely free, and you can download it using the link in the video description below. Now let's jump in here and look at these guitars. As is tradition, let me start by playing you these guitars inside the mix, and then I will solo up the pair of electric guitars here, and you can hear how they sound by themselves. And then we're going to jump into how we're using a reverb to get a little bit more width out of our guitars here. So here's inside the mix, these two guitars.
Stay in time, don't get out of the line. Oh boy, stay in time, don't get out of the line. Oh boy, stay in time, don't get out of the line. Oh boy, stay in time, don't get out of the line. Oh boy.
Now, of course, they are panned 100% hard left and hard right, but we are getting a little bit of width beyond that by sending to our reverb down here. Now, what we're doing on our reverb is we're using the splitter tool inside of Studio One. So we have two reverbs running here. They're the same reverbs, but they're on separate sides of the spectrum. So we're using our splitter, and it's on channel split mode. So we have a reverb on the left and a reverb on the right. Now we're just using the medium studio reverb here. It's just one of their default presets here. It's usually about a 750 millisecond reverb. Then same thing here on the right. We can lock the mix there. Excuse me. And then after both of our reverbs, so if we go look at our splitter, we got a reverb on our left, reverb on the right, and then after our reverb, we have an EQ here rolling off our low end, so it's not making our guitars too heavy by pulling up this reverb, rolling off the super highs, but we're giving a little bit of extra boost here around 5K. And then the secret here to getting this to sound wider is we're flipping the channels, right? So we have our left guitar and our right guitar sending in. They're each going into their own reverb because we have a reverb on each channel of our effects bus here. And then at the end of the chain, we're flipping the channels. So now our left guitar is going to be in the reverb on the right, and our right guitar is going to be in a reverb on the left. So we have our left guitar and our right guitar, but then the reverbs are on opposite sides. So what that gives us is you have one guitar and its reverb is on the other side, other guitar and its reverb on the other side. That is going to help give us the illusion that our guitars are a little bit wider because the reverb is sent to the opposite side and there's no reverb in the middle. Our reverbs are hard panned as well as our guitars are being hard panned. So let me solo up just the reverb here, and we'll break it down piece by piece here. So we'll do an A-B on our flip here. You can hear what we're doing with this dual pan. Did a little A-B on the EQ there so you can hear all the stuff we're cleaning up with that high pass filter there and the low pass filter. You can hear all we're doing with this dual pan, just flipping the channels. You can hear we're just moving one guitar to the other side and the opposite guitar to the opposite side. Now let's put that back in with our guitars. We'll do an A-B here of where it's sitting. I have it pretty subtle in the mix because I didn't want too much reverb on these guitars. We're getting a little bit of room sound because it's a live track band, so we're not pushing it too high, but I wanted to get a little bit extra verb and a little bit extra width without muddying up the middle. So here's before, and then I'll kick our verb in, and then I'll pull it up so you can hear the effect a little bit more upfront. Notice how when we kick the reverb send in, we get a little bit more energy, but it's on the sides. So it helps our guitars seem wider because there's no energy being added in the middle. Our reverb's not showing up in the middle. We're not getting any extra length in the middle. Our reverbs are showing up on the sides, but opposite sides. So our right guitar has its reverb showing up on the left, so we get that tail on the left, and then our left guitar has its reverb showing up on the right. So we're getting that length and that tail on the right. Nothing happens in the middle. Both are happening on hard pan sides, hard pan left and hard pan right, opposite where their guitar sends are. That's what's giving us our extra width, is that our extra boost in energy and our reverb length is coming in hard panned on the sides, not in the middle. Now we'll pull it up a little bit, we'll exaggerate it so you can hear it a little bit more clearly. When we have it that high up at 0, you can actually hear when we kick the reverb in, the spectrum gets a little bit wider. Things get a little bit wider because our reverbs are pushed all the way out to the sides rather than any kind of muddiness or verb showing up in the middle. And they're opposite panned, so it's not just like we get a little boost in energy on the sides for each guitar. They show up on the opposite sides, which pushes our guitar spectrum out a little bit further. Take a listen one more time. We'll go a little bit further and then ease back down to where we started. So here's without. We'll kick it in, go further, and then go back. So it's subtle down where I have it. You can hear when we pushed it all the way up there, clicked it on and off. You can very clearly hear the width that we get and that extra energy that comes in on the sides. But opposite sides are guitars, remember. So pulling it back down to where we had it about 6.7, negative 6.7. It's subtle here, but we're getting that width. We're getting that little bit of extra energy without intruding too much on the room sound that we're getting from the band playing as a whole. So let's put it back into the band. We'll do one more A-B on our verb here.
Stay in time, don't get out of line. Oh boy, stay in time, don't get out of line. Oh boy, stay in time, don't get out of line. Oh boy, stay in time, don't get out of line. Oh boy, stay in time, don't get out of line. Oh boy, stay in time, don't get out of line. Oh boy, stay.
Quick review here. All we're doing, we got our guitars hard panned left and right. We're sending from our bus here to a reverb using the splitter tool to create a left and a right channel on our effects send here. We have a reverb on the left, a reverb on the right, doing a touch of EQ to make sure things aren't too heavy when we kick our reverb in, and then we're opposite panning our reverb. So our left guitar has its reverb showing up on the right, and our right guitar has its reverb showing up on the left. That's what's getting us that extra energy on the sides, nothing more in the middle, and it's making our guitar spectrum that much wider. I hope that was helpful for you. Like I said, if you are ready to take your mixes to the next level and really start dialing in your workflows in Engineer, then I have just the tool for you, and it is completely free. It's my 7-step mixing checklist, and you can download it using the link below and start creating more professional mixes in less time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.